Okay, let's get into this. Caregiving. It's rarely something you sign up for, is it?
No, not usually. It often just sort of
Yeah.
happens, chooses you. Maybe a phone call comes in, something shifts suddenly.
And bam, you're juggling your regular life chaos, bills, job, maybe family, your own health stuff.
Right. And then suddenly you've got this other thing. Feels like a second job, full time, only unpaid.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of our sources put it, trying to walk a tightrope while carrying flaming luggage and maybe a toddler.
That's a pretty vivid picture, yeah. Because your normal life, it doesn't just pause, it keeps going right alongside this huge new demand.
So that really sets the scene for this depth dive. We've gone through quite a few sources, articles, and specifically drawn from material like the Caregiver's Uh-Oh Handbook and Tina Jin's Too Late to Panic.
hmm And our goal here really is to pull out the key insights from all this, the stuff that you really need to know.
We're focusing on just how big this challenge is, how all that life chaos crashes into caregiving.
And crucially, what these sources say you have to do to prepare, to get through a crisis, and protect everyone, especially yourself, the caregiver.
So let's dive right into that reality. Caregiving when life is already throwing punches.
Okay. And it's important, I think, to define life's chaos here. It's not just a vague idea,
Yeah.
it's the real stuff. The job change you didn't see coming, relationship problems, your own health acting up, even big world events that add stress.
That's just the baseline, right?
So
Then you layer caregiving onto that, and the sources really hammer home how many different hats you suddenly wear.
Oh, absolutely. You're the nurse keeping track of meds. You're the housekeeper trying to keep things safe and clean.
You're the therapist offering that emotional support, the cook, the driver for appointments.
The advocate fighting through confusing systems, personal assistant, finance manager, emergency planner.
Right.
It goes on and on.
Yeah, the list is huge. And what really stands out in the material is how unseen a lot of this work is.
Totally invisible sometimes, mostly unpaid, often not really noticed by others, and definitely underappreciated.
But at its heart, it's driven by love, right? That's the core of it.
It is. It comes from that deep connection. But here's the painful bit the sources keep pointing out. Caregivers pour everything into that person,
Mhm.
and they often forget themselves, or they feel really guilty about taking any time or care for themselves. They're giving love, but they desperately need support too, and often it just isn't there.
And that's the danger zone, where chaos can tip over into, well, catastrophe. What happens when a normal emergency hits? A fire, power outage, flood.
Or even something personal, like you have a health scare, a sudden hospital visit while you're already stretched so thin with caregiving.
That's the question.
And the sources are pretty direct about it. Chaos turns into a catastrophe when